Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to our Siddhartha session with teacher Tim Learn Half and Joe Crawford. My name is Ivor. I will be your MC for this section, and we are very happy to have you with us. Thank you, Marina. And because we start, if everyone just accept the Zoom, please remember to choose the interpretation channel. That's the language you prefer. Yeah. And now we are very super great honor to welcome our dear teacher Tim Learn Hub and teacher Joe Crawford to lead us in this section. Everyone, please join me to send a lot of flower, heart, and diamond to our dear teachers. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
好，我们马上开始。Okay, it's online. Okay. So, have everyone from online and as always, everyone in person, welcome back. And for everyone coming in late, please get seated as soon as possible. And today we'll have the pleasure to share the talk with Tim and Joe. Tim, he is the executive director of ACI, also a master grad from University of Pennsylvania. He used to be the general manager of the Red Capital Education and Travel. Also, he is the translator at the Diamond Cutter Classics. And we also have Joe Crawford. He's the Director of Technology at ALL, the Asian Legacy Laboratory. He's worked with all levels of Canadian government on spatial and data analysis, and he is the key person in driving the ALL's tech vision. So let's welcome Tim and Joe.
Sometimes when you start a class, it's like, what are you going to do to break the ice? You know, where you have all these eyeballs looking at you, right? So sometimes it's fun just to call it out, right? And say, hi, eyeballs, nice to see you.
So many.
Other times it's, you know, there's a reason for it. Because, you know, today we're going to talk a little bit about we're going to continue the talk from whatever was the first day, a couple days ago, about leadership. You can?
Okay.
We have a third chair here too. People always wonder like why you have an empty chair. We're going to have a special guest later. But we're going to continue that conversation on the seeds for leadership. And we're going to be relating it specifically to the 5 houses. And then what's next? Like, what are we going to do next? Okay. So we're going to go on a little bit of a journey that's going to seem slightly disconnected, but hopefully it'll have by the end, you'll be inspired. Oh, yes. I have something else to start with. So today, one of the coolest people that lives in Rimrock is having a birthday. And I think he's turning 10. Little Kiri. And what I'd like to do is wish him a happy birthday. So we're going to say happy birthday on the phone. I'm going to turn around. And if all of you can just wave and say happy birthday, I'd like to send that to him. They weren't able to come this time because visas, good visas. There's an attempt to get status to live in the United States, so they have to stay. So they weren't able to come, and so we're missing them and missing little Kiri as well. So I thought it'd be nice to say happy birthday to him. So, thank you, Joel, for reminding me. So we're going to do a little happy birthday up here, and then I'll turn it around, and if you all can just make a lot of noise, wave, do all of those things, right? Okay. Hello. Hello. We're wishing you a wonderfully happy birthday, and we'd like to show you what's happening here in Kyoto as well. Happy birthday, buddy. Have a wonderful day. All right. Let me send that off. Thank you, everyone. All right. So we have the illustrious Joel Crawford here. And from the introduction, I learned cool things about him. I've known him for 15 years. And I have invited him here today to give you a little bit of an overview of how the worldview organizations fit together, and specifically how it starts in the Asian Legacy Library. And then we're going to relate that. How does that relate to leadership? You're like, how are we going to do that? You'll like it when we get there. So the first thing I'd like to do is I'd like to review the 4 main seeds that we talked about in the class a couple days ago, just to remind us, just in case you don't remember, because it was so long ago. And we've had so many wonderful classes since then. I'd just like to bring us back to where we were. First slide, please, Brian. Okay. I should have brought money.
Yeah, can we see it on that screen? Or is that not possible?
It's possible. It's up in the corner there just a little bit.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So the idea is this comes directly from, and I can't remember what part of the foundation course is, where it talks about the four things a teacher does to attract students. Does anyone remember exactly where that is? Where is it? Which number? Level 8. Excuse me? No, that's DCI. That is true that it was modified in DCI for leadership. But in the ACI courses, does anyone remember where? Teachers? Students? Do you even remember this?
I don't remember the list.
Maybe 10? Maybe 1? I don't remember. It's okay. It doesn't matter. So there's 4 seeds as a teacher to plant for students, right? To be a leader of students, right? How do you draw them into the teachings? How do you entice, right? And there's so many different ways to do it. There's many skillful ways to do it. And then when we're thinking about leadership in general, because the goal, like, what is one of the synonyms of a Buddha? The teacher, right? And so in that, that's where we're going. So why don't we just start now? Okay. And then we can use it in a pretend way to develop an organization called the 5 Houses and hire people and develop leaders and all those things. That's a nice echo. But the idea really is, like, how do we plant those seeds in ourselves? Right? To be the teacher, to become a teacher, to become a leader. Right? Along the way, there's stages, there's steps. So anyhow, so Joel, what's the first seed to plant?
Oh my gosh. I mean, you just gave me the list 5 minutes ago.
What's happening up here?
Oh, I bet I can guess.
Yeah, why don't you guess?
Generosity, giving, sharing.
Sure. Wait, what do you mean by giving in this case? I think about your own teachers. What have...
Oh my God, they give everything.
Including a microphone.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
not
thank
his
you.
teacher. I'm sorry.
Yeah. What do they give? Absolutely everything, I think. Their time, their space, their wisdom, their ideas, they listen. I think one of the biggest things that all my teachers have done, and there's so many of my teachers in this room, it's amazing. But they're generous in how they see you. You know, I sat next to Ben right before I came up here, and he gave me a pep talk, and it was like the craziest thing. It was like, you're amazing, you're awesome. But to see that is maybe one of the greatest gifts that a teacher can give you, because it allows you to take the next step, whatever that step is, you know, onto a stage maybe, for instance.
So if we translate this into being a leader of an organization or a leader of people, like in a team,
Yeah.
like how would you translate that into different language?
Yeah, it's interesting. So I started at ALL as a volunteer, and I was a lot of people, if ever you want to get involved in an organization, just volunteer. Pretty soon you'll be like working full time, and it'll be overwhelming.
And underpaid and overwhelming, and lots of joy.
But and it could have been like, I think about JB and all the things that he was offering me along the way. You know, like he's really good. He's kind of like seductive or something. That guy, he kind of pulls you in without you really knowing. And I don't think at any point along the steps from volunteer to like director, which sounds cool, I don't think I ever really felt like a fully embodied leader. I mean, that's kind of interesting.
Right, and we're going to explore that a little bit later. Like, what happens when we don't feel it? Right? What happens when we're trying to become something else? We're trying to grow. We're trying to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and what happens when, for example, like if you're saying, Ben is like, Joe, you're awesome. You're amazing.
Well, exactly.
And then what happens inside might
Yeah.
be different.
Well, exactly. So you just take the next step, and pretty soon you are leading. Although even saying that sounds weird, but it's almost unconscious. It's just another step along the path.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, maybe that's what we're saying. You know, if ultimately we're working towards being the capital T teacher. I mean, it would be funny to think that, like, you right before the step towards Buddhahood, even at that point, you're like, I don't know, am I a good person? I mean, I don't think that's how it works, but.
One of the things I'd like to say, Joel, is like a lot of people come to me and say, I'm a bad person. I'm making all these mistakes. I'm screwing up. I'm blah, blah, you know, it goes on and on and on. And I get this impression that somehow the best people are the most self-critical. Like there seems to be some kind of like, I'm like, I don't see what you see. Like I see you're being human,
Yeah.
but I don't see you as a bad person.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's not that it. Well, I mean, for somebody that has those thoughts, I can say that it's not necessarily overt. You know, I do walk around and think, you know, I'm pretty good. You know, I'm doing good things. I mean, I must be to be here with everybody. I must be if a whipped cream sandwich exists in this country. I don't know if anyone has had that. Actually, put your hand up if you have had a whipped cream sandwich. They're so good. It's magical. I mean, that is one thing that this country has given the world. There's many, but...
Do not advertise we're not using that in our advertisement of why we should come to Japan, only.
Yeah, not only. Sorry, what was the question? I got sidetracked by the whipped cream sandwich.
No, my thought is that sometimes the people that are most self-critical and worry about planting the worst seeds are actually the best people.
Yeah. I mean, it's a fine balance. And we talk about this too, you know. There's a famous, maybe somebody knows it, I think it's a American writer, activist from the 60s, but who are you to be small, you know? So it's a fine line. There's this humility, and then at some point it just becomes reverse pride or whatever it is, you know? So walking onto the stage, it's funny because, you know, I'm supposed to be teaching and leading and all these things. And this spot right here is where I have the most misperceptions, you know? Put 300 eyeballs on me. And am I able to see that the world is coming from me? No, I just see like 300 terrifying eyeballs.
Worse than that is 600 eyeballs.
Yes, like looking back at me. And which is hilarious, you know? So here I am misperceiving the world and trying to say something interesting and clever and wise. But anyways, I digressed again. Just gonna have a sip of water here.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. So the next seed for leadership they're really tied together very intimately, and it's about encouragement. Like really encouraging people in the good things that they're already doing. Like, you know, personally, like what, you know, Ben did for Joel, right? And what I did to like break the ice is I asked Brian to play David Bowie's Under Pressure on our way up to the stage to kind of break some of this tension, right? But in a way to encourage, like, why don't we just call it out? Sometimes it's uncomfortable, right? It's a little uncomfortable sometimes to come up and have to talk to 600 eyeballs, right? 600 ears. You know, but a lot of it is about encouragement. Like, how do we encourage others to be their best self? You know, how do we, if each person has the potential to reach those highest goals, right? We all have our own emptiness. Therefore, we have that potential. And as humans, we have a unique potential that's different than maybe in a particular lifetime, like an ant or a cat. That they don't seem to have the awareness or the mental capacity to do the transformative process, right? So if you look at it's really funny, and Joel, I don't know if this happens to you. It's like you get into a group of people, and then human drama becomes human drama. Like even amongst a wise spiritual group, those people who are trying their hardest to do some change in the world, and then normal human things start happening. Drama ensues. Afflictions arise, right? And what I've seen in this context is I've seen my teachers focus more on the positive, like Tim, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. And I'm like, I'm so worried. like, and they're like, no, just like, and then they flip it around and find the good quality. They find the good thing to focus on. And I'm wondering what your experience has been on that. You know, even with friends or with teachers, like how's your...
I mean, I feel like that's part of their relationship with me is all about encouragement. So there's these different aspects of a teacher, and Jigme talked about it in her meditation today. So she said, you know, if the teacher is pulling out all this stuff and it's very painful, then that's a good sign, because your teacher can see that you can handle it. And I feel like I'm not quite there, you know. Oh my God, more. This is too funny. But my teachers are generally always encouraging, you know. I haven't got to the wrathful phase, although I know that there's a few seeds. There are a few seeds.
It may come.
That somebody is going to have to just rip right out of me, because I'm not going to do it willingly. Yeah. For some reason, it makes me think of, so one of my closest teachers is actually the father of Kiri, and I feel like it's auspicious that we sent a message to them. But early on in my practice, I went to him and said, please, will you give me a practice, you know, between the Diamond Mountain terms? I need something to do, you know, like I know I feel like I'm supposed to ask this of you or something. And he said, well, Joel, you shouldn't do anything. And I don't think I understood at the time. I was more kind of hurt. I was like, does that mean that I don't have the capacity? But it was such a deep encouragement for exactly what I need, which is to just, you know, relax. For God's sakes, Joel, relax. And that's a beautiful, I mean, it's beautiful that was his advice. And it was encouraging. It just took me years to understand.
Next slide. So the third seed is then beyond like the giving and the encouragement, is also to find skillful ways to teach the people who work for you or your students, or however you see leadership. Parenting is leadership. How do you encourage them to put those things into practice themselves? How do you get them to do it? It's not just like, hey, good job, Joel. Like,
yeah.
Like, but again, have you make that next step, like to go and do the thing, to plant the seeds, to do the purifications, right? To do the, you know, it was so beautiful last night in class. You know, when when Geshe was talking about confession and talking about laying bare the things that you've done, you know, and he, you know, he confessed to us, like to all of us, right? Some of his things that he saw that he needed to still purify, or appear that he needs to purify, you know. You know, and for me, it's been a journey of that too. Like, part of the practice has been, how do I stop hiding, Tim? Like, stop hiding your faults. Stop hiding the things that you do that maybe you're ashamed of or you don't want other people to know. You know, and the trick is, from what I've seen, is I was talking to some people outside, Kelly and Jean, before this, and kind of rehearsing what I was going to say, because I too was a little bit nervous. And I said, you know, I'm not a bad person. And they're like, why would you even think that? I was like, well, because I've done all these things, and I can list all of those things. And they're like, well, you're not a bad person. You just made some mistakes. And there's a subtle difference there. Like, no, I'm not a bad person. Am I gonna make mistakes in the future? Most likely. But how do we learn from them, right? And I think that's part of the practice. And as a leader, how have you, in leadership roles or having been led by others, like appreciate when you've made a mistake, when you've made that mistake, like at work or in your relationship with your teacher, like how have they handled that with you?
I don't make mistakes, maybe?
I have some blackmail, actually.
Oh, yes. Let's hear it. I don't want to hide anymore either, so just let it out. Tell them everything.
So, Joel,
Uh-oh.
there was this one time that I recall that you were in a meeting and you got nervous. Could you share with us what happened in that meeting?
Okay.
The one in the cafe?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty obvious, actually, as soon as he said it. Okay. This is pretty embarrassing, actually, but...
We did talk about this ahead of time. It's not a surprise. He does know. He knew I was going to ask about it. Okay, I'm not being...
Oh, my God, I've just been exposed.
It's part of the show. But literally, we did talk about it. I asked for permission ahead of time. Don't think I'm that person. Sometimes I am, but not right now.
That was pretty believable, right, though? Like, yeah, okay. So it's funny because I'm struggling to understand the relationship between the third. Okay, I won't worry about it. So I was on a Zoom call with JB and Emma, and I was supposed to be explaining this like very technical things to them, like all the progress that we had made in the infrastructure side of things with the library. And I had made a diagram, but then I started to freak out about how am I actually going to explain this to them? And so this is the ultimate fear for me, even when I come onto the stage here, is really like, what happens if I freeze? And I froze in this meeting with two people that I know so well and so deeply, and I literally froze and then secretly ended the meeting.
Can you describe a little bit more what you mean you literally froze?
Like, I pretended to be frozen. And I just kind of slightly moved my finger so I could get on the mouse, and then just clicked end meeting. And it's so funny to think about, like, because I wonder what expression I had on my face. Like, what did I think was the most believable? Joel's actually frozen. Like, so anyways, so there I am. End the meeting, and then I'm freaking out in the cafe because the energy, the prana is like running very janky and strangely, and so I WhatsApp them and I say, oh my God, the internet connection is really bad here. I'm gonna have to connect to my data and get back on the meeting, and I think I actually walked to the washroom, tried to like walk it off. I came back and started the meeting, and I never said a word. I was so ashamed until I got here, actually, and I told Emma, but I haven't told JB. So shh, don't tell JB. Okay, so I mean that's the story, but I don't know how it relates to what you're.
I mean, part of the way it relates is, that we were asked last night in the teaching to confess,
Oh yeah.
right? And then by putting it into practice, like by making that confession to 600 eyeballs, plus all the eyeballs of the people online,
Oh my God.
plus
I
all
forgot
the
about
plus
them.
all the rebroadcasts, like we have all the rebroadcasts that are happening. Like, I mean, maybe you've purified that seed,
Ah, that would be great.
right?
Rejoice. Yeah.
But I mean, what are we trying to do here? Like, part of this is what happens. So you get a practice, right? Okay, here's the 4 different types of seeds to plant to become a leader, right? To attract students. However you want to look at it. But the practices aren't just, there's layers to it. And then once we start doing things, we're going to bump up against all these different resistances or realize all the things that we do that are opposite to that seed. We just do unconsciously or just automatically. Like, if you want to if you want to be able to be that leader, or you want to be someone who can really teach, like, there is a level of bearing your, doesn't mean you have to go tell your students every like secret detail, but having that person who you can say, look, I made this mistake in my life, and I need to purify this so I can move on. But oftentimes when we start planting these new seeds, we start recognizing a slew of things we do that we didn't even know we were doing. And then we kind of find ourselves in, I don't want to say that word, in opposition to, we're trying to reach this goal, but we're doing all these things that are blocking the goal now, because we've learned what the karmic correlation is. And then all of a sudden we realize, well, crap, I do these 10 things that are opposite to this one seed. And then ensue the process of change, the process of purifying, the process of whatever you want to call it, whatever words we want to use. Purification makes it sound like we're dirty in some way, and I don't really, the word feels off to me, because for someone who's very self-critical, to say that I have to purify then reinforces the identity that there's something wrong with me. There's something wrong with Tim. He's not good enough. He's not worthy enough. He's not pure enough. He has to become better, right? And
So have you found a word?
no.
No.
But I'm trying to find maybe you all can think of a different word, And in a way, there is a, what is it, sakme? Right? Sometimes maybe just using the ancient language might be helpful, to just call it that. But I don't know. There's something. I don't know. To me, but this is part of the process where you have this new seed, and then you realize, wow, look at this story that Tim is telling himself about himself. Not a bad person. Like, we should have a new mudra. And this actually comes from Kelly and Jean. They were just like, you're not a bad person. You're not a bad person, right? Maybe there's something in there. Maybe if something resonates with you, And I think part of what we're talking about is confessing the things that we're slightly ashamed of. Maybe you'll feel the resonance in you, that maybe if the example up here, next slide, the example of us doing it, maybe you'll realize that, maybe I can do it too. And that's how I got comfortable with this sort of like getting more comfortable with just saying, this is who I am. This is what I've done. This is how I've tried to be a good person. This is where I've come up not to the standard that I hold to myself. And maybe because I saw it in other people, and that has inspired me. Like I saw it from other people that just said, who just did that. And I've always wondered, how can you just be so open and honest about all of that? Like I'm afraid. Like I'm afraid of rejection, or I'm afraid of people won't like me anymore, or, again, what did you say that was related to?
Wrong worldview.
I was helping him not freeze. Because that's what he said the very first thing. He said, and I loved how you said it, Joel, I'm in awe about it, is that when looking out at each and every one of you and you freeze, like, that's not, it's wrong view inside yourself, about yourself. And we're just all trying to do the same thing. Can we, I just want to say, can we all relax? I want to ask you all something. Can you help me purify this seed?
Debate. It's a debate. No? Not a debate.
I'm going to make a slightly different argument, and maybe we can debate it. I think you can help me. If I make a request that each and every one of you find somebody safe that you're comfortable with and makes one confession, and you start removing that in you and opening up, does that help me purify the seeds that I have in myself?
Mm-hmm. Must be. No? Oh my gosh.
I don't know. The thing is, you can't take the seed away from me. No, of course not. If the Buddha could have done that, they would have already, I hope. unless I have something wrong with me, that the Buddha is not helping me, but helping everybody else. And there's my story. Watch my story. The Buddha helps everyone else except me. No, but look, maybe the function of teaching, I'm not a Buddha. I don't know what a Buddha thinks. I don't know what a Buddha sees when they see everybody. I don't know what a Buddha has intention behind the words that they're saying. I have no clue. But maybe some of the function of teaching is I'm not giving you anything. Maybe it's I have so much to purify in me, and if I'm helping other people purify their world and purify their own hearts, maybe that's how you can help me. I don't know who you are. You're probably all a bunch of Buddhas hanging out here, being like, Tim, you're the last one left. And then appearing to help me. So maybe there's something in me asking for help that can help me.
I do remember from yesterday's class that Geshe said to make sure that you had someone that you could confess everything to. There must be some part of that process that is important. It makes sense to me what you said.
Maybe it's just something for us to debate in Ben and Kendra's class at some point.
That would be great. Today.
I think they already have a plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it could be something to think about. I'm not sure. So with those 4 seeds together, right? The one of generosity, the one of encouragement, the seed of helping people put it into practice, and then the seed of get on the bike and do it yourself. You be the example. You get up on stage in front of everybody and then confess, or find that special person to confess to. maybe there's something in there that can generate the change.
Sure.
All right. 15 minutes. Okay. So one of the things the reason we invited Joel here today is that he's the director of technology at the Asian Classics Library.
Try again.
Mixing of brands, mixing of letters. Asian Legacy Library. And I just wanted to ask him to give you a little bit of like, how do these organizations all relate together? Because sometimes we don't know, like, well, there's ALL, there's ACIP, who's not really ACIP anymore, is ALL, we have ACI that's now VH, 5 houses, maybe, DCI, DCIG, SCIM, DSEU, CSP, DCC.
Wow. That's pretty good.
BSF.
Whoa.
YSI. Am I missing any? DCP.
Holy moly.
PTWN.
Ah.
Then we have GMRL, Geshe Michael MGP.
Oh, what's G-Box?
Then there's G-Box, which is a lot of letters. You know, there's so many letters, right? There's so many organizations. He says there's something like 42. I'm sorry if I missed your letters. What? Oh, shit.
The most important.
WVP. Brian just stood up and flipped the table. He's like,
how dare you?
How do you forget about us?
Oh, tech table.
If the tech table does their job, you shouldn't even see them or notice they're there.
So they're doing their job then?
Yes, they are. They're doing a phenomenal job. Thank you all. Thank you, Worldview Production. So yeah, I was wondering, Joel, if maybe you can give a little bit of an overview of how all of that fits together in about 10 minutes.
Okay. Maybe quicker. Okay. So tech table, Worldview Productions. We need to, oh, there it is. So fast. Oh, yeah, that's, okay. So this is kind of the talk that I gave last year, if you were here. And I feel like as a member of ALL, this is the obvious thing that we like to talk about because we feel like maybe the most hidden organization because it's less front and center. And but yeah, if there's one thing that, I mean, there's many things that bring us all together into this room. But one of them is this worldview umbrella. And about a year or two ago in Jigme's class, she showed me the most amazing to-do list of all time. Next slide. I need that little bell. I love that bell. So, actually, it's great that you're here, Jigme, just to make sure that I got all my information correct. But, well, it's weird.
Can you change the slide online too?
Yeah, on that screen I don't see it. So how did we get here? Okay, oh, I can't read it. I'm so old. Okay, I'll turn my head. Oh, there it is. Whoa. I'm amazing.
You are.
Okay, so the story goes, the transmission that I heard, which might be incorrect, is that in the 80s, perhaps, in the 90s, it's so great that you're here, for so many reasons. So in the 90s, on Geshe-la's wall, there was a to-do list, and it's the most inspiring to-do list I've ever seen. And it lays out the way that all worldview organizations are connected. And I don't think, it makes sense in retrospect that they are all connected, but I don't think it was obvious to me that they were. But it goes like, as you can see, find the books, input them in searchable ASCII, distribute them for free. So you can see the organization that you're a part of, so try and identify whatever organizations. Oh yeah, sorry. Try and find yourself in this list, and you'll probably be in many different places, and you might move. As you move along the path, you might move between these items. But so which organization does the first three? Yeah. ALL. And DCC.
Well, no, DCC is number 4. Oh, that's true.
Yeah. So DCC and ALL are so close that it's hard to pull us apart. And we're so close that we kind of forget somehow that we're different organizations. So yes, ALL and DCC. The fourth, translate them. DCC and ACI. Oh, this is getting confusing. So DCC, ACI, teach them and train teachers. So many. You can just shout out the acronym again. Teach them to the world. More. And then finally, change the world culture to peace and kindness. Yeah.
Jigme said Peachtree Cafe.
Well, definitely number 7, yeah. And so from this idea, from this one particular vision, we have 42 organizations that have blossomed and so many people around the world that are actively working on changing world culture to peace and kindness. It's truly incredible. But this is where, if you've heard the term snow on the mountain, you can you can imagine the snow flowing through this list. And if we go to the next slide. So the idea of snow on the mountain is that locked away at the top of a mountain, there's this ancient wisdom, and it's very hard to get to. And so as a normal person, as most people might spend their time looking at the mountain range and thinking, oh, it's very beautiful, but the idea of trekking to the top might be too dangerous. So you need people, you need guides, you need some mechanism to get to that knowledge and that wisdom. And so the idea is that the snow melts and it comes down into the streams and the rivers, and from there you can drink of this wisdom. And I made a handy little a little infographic. So just so you can see, and you can slowly cycle through this now. But the snow, the idea is that the snow is melting down. And finally, we have the happy people at the bottom. So all of this to say that all the teachings that we get, everything that I've ever heard and that has touched my heart, meditation, meditation practices, dance practices, wisdom, emptiness, karma, all these things, they all flow from this source, which is an authentic source, the ACIP database. And so what I'd like to do is present to you, so last year I was here, we were here as an organization, ALL was here to show you our baby steps into creating this digital library that's available online. And I'd like to show a few of the features that we've created with all of you in mind. So the first layer, what we've accomplished so far has been to give free access to the world, to the data, but it's very hard for most people to what's the word? To interact with that data, because most of us here in this room might not be perfect in their Tibetan. So we've developed these AI features. I don't know if you've heard of this new technology. It's really big right now. And so much was accomplished this year. Most of it was to do with infrastructure and data pipelines and all these boring things, as well as tweaks to the library to make the user interface better, and to allow for really interesting features for scholars like text and scan, the ability to see text and scans together. But I feel like these AI features are really the ones that somebody like me gets excited about, because they will ultimately, the hope is that they will help me understand and learn Tibetan, and understand and learn the teachings. So as I was preparing this, I don't know if you guys have noticed that the internet is very spotty here, so instead of giving a live presentation, which the idea of giving a live presentation and having it not work was too much. It's too much for me to bear, so I've made I've made a little slideshow of some of these features. So, okay. Okay, so the first feature is the ability to search in English for a Tibetan or a Buddhist philosophical term, for instance. So you could search, say you were in the mixed nuts class and you know that they kept repeating this word and saying it was the word for emptiness, but you don't remember it. You could type emptiness into this text box and translate that into Tibetan and then run a search through the database. So we could also do the 4 Arya truths, which we were doing in class yesterday. So this is an example. We search for the 4 Arya truths. We get a few hits back, and is that correct, Ben? Oh, back one. Yeah. Okay, so what it does is it gives you a little overview of the term that you're searching, and then it gives you some options for what the Tibetan might be. So let's keep in mind, so throughout this whole talk, one thing to highlight is that, as Geshe was saying yesterday, if the database that the AI is relying upon is incomplete, then the answers are going to be incomplete. So we currently are relying on 2 models. There's an Anthropic model, Claude, and then there's a Dharma Mitra project, which is kind of doing its own thing. They built their own model, and they've done it based solely or focused specifically on Buddhist texts in Sanskrit and Tibetan. So so these are great sources for us, but it's not, the database is incomplete. There's so many more steps, but we need to do things like train specifically on the translated data and build our own LLM, basically. And actually, there's somebody right here that's going to help me with that, and that's Ming. Actually, there's so many people here that are excited about this and have come up to me to talk about this, and it's very exciting, and I hope that we keep in touch. But yeah, so just to keep that in mind. So as you're running these searches, the information is most likely correct, but it could be incorrect. What you need is a teacher to ask. Okay, so there we go. We've run our search, we've got some answers. We can click on any of those results and we get results right into the database. So here, this is a non-Tibetan speaker. They've made some inroads into a Tibetan library, which is pretty cool, I think. So we see where we get that match, and we can highlight that match, and we can do a translation. What's this guy's name? Pichikino? He's too far away. Yeah. Okay, so we can highlight, and we can. If we right click, then we get this little translate with Dharma Mitra. So here we're using the other model, and if we click that, nice, thank you. Then we get a translation, and we get the grammatical breakdown of that sentence. And so right away we're learning. We have, and it's gone. Yeah.
Can you go back two slides? Yeah, one more. Yeah, that one right there.
Oh, yeah. So what Dharma Mitra is trying to do is give you some semblance of an actual translation for what you've selected, and then the grammatical breakdown of that. And I'd just like to say that what this does is it really highlights the need for translators, because what you'll find as you're playing around with this is that it often gives you this very clunky translation, and it's nothing at all like a mixed nuts translation. Okay, and then, we only have a few minutes here, so we have less than a few minutes. So we also have these features related to OCR, and I don't know, I don't think we have to go into them. So what I'd like to leave you with is just that we've taken baby steps in the direction of creating tools for students of Buddhism and Tibetan, and we want to spend some time in the coming years developing those into kind of an integrated whole, into some sort of integrated flow that all of us can use in our studies. And so lastly, so we have Jamie Plant that's going to come and do a demo. So I thought it's very exciting to get the opportunity to see what he's developed. And I like the fact that Geshe said that maybe it could be that his database is complete. It'll be great to see what he's created. And there he is.
So the second part here, as Joel... Yeah. So we're going to put this into your computer, wherever you want to send. So while Jamie's getting set up here, part of what we want to show you is all the cool tools that are available to you. And then, you can think about this, like, what are they doing as leaders in their own organization? Do you have an HDMI cable? Hey, do we have an HDMI to USB-C? You don't have one over here? No. Here it comes. And so thank you, Jamie, for joining us on short notice today. Very much appreciated.
I had no intention of giving a presentation, but I just want to show Geshe Michael. And then he was like, you have to go up and you have to show everyone else. So just, you know, I want to say that this is not a live tool yet. It's just this is all in development. So whatever you see here is still being worked on. The design is not finalized. The data is not finalized. So it's still very much a working project. So just keep that in mind. But we're working every day extremely hard on it, and we imagine in the next couple months we'll have some version up for you. So that's why I wanted to share this today, to get you excited about some things that are coming. This isn't a pitch. This isn't a fundraising. I don't need any help. This is all just an offering, you know, for all of you, for all the students. So just something to get excited about. So I don't know if you guys, a lot of you might know about the Knowledge Base website. This has been my project now, maybe in one form or another, for the last 20 years. So, yeah. Is it showing up there? Okay. Oh, yeah, sure. So many things that Geshe Michael has taught over his entire teaching career are up there. So you can see audio, you can see videos, you can view text materials, lots of different things, and in many different languages as well. But one of the things that was frustrating about it is that, you know, while there's thousands of audio files and thousands of videos, a lot of them are an hour and a half or 2 hours long. So you have so many ideas that are just locked away inside of those videos that you can't really access. It is powerful, but it could be so much more powerful. So I always had this dream of how could I take all of that information and unlock it so then it becomes searchable. So this is, you know, this was Geshe Michael's original vision with the ACIP project. He originally had all of these woodblock prints and texts, old Tibetan texts that were just on a shelf in a library, and you couldn't search any of it and you couldn't access any of it. So that's what that project did. So this project is going to be similar to that. For all the rest of us that can't read Tibetan, you know, can we go and we can search many different ideas and see exactly where he taught those things and listen. Geshe Michael pitched this as an AI, but it's not an AI project yet. I think it's going to work in that direction. It's in the pipeline of we're creating all of the data that can be used by an AI at some point. I used a lot of AI tools to do certain parts of it, but it's not an AI in and of itself. So I'll just jump in. Everyone can see this up on the screen? No? Okay. That's an issue. Oh. No. Yeah.
For some reason, your computer's not syncing with our systems.
Oh. Sorry about that, folks.
It has to do with. This is part of our.
I could explain to you what it does, but it's very difficult if I can't show it to you. No. Sorry, everyone. I know this is super annoying.
Just reduce the video.
Let me try.
All right, let's try this out. Brian, let me try one more. Can you plug this back in? Can you plug this right back in? Plug the other one in. Sorry about this, Jeremy. Shit happens.
If worse comes to worse, you'll have extra break time, and I'll show you next year.
Keep this going in and out. What the problem is, he's running his data off an extended one, so I can't put this in without. Well, no, because he's using this. It doesn't have two.
I mean, you can try it. I don't have to show that.
This one.
Let's put this in here. Oh, I see. Okay. Let's try this. Let's just see what happens.
Okay, there's also this one.
Okay.
That's new and powerful.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to go from his camera. We're going to do it on your screen. Okay. Go for it.
I'm so used to this. Doing work like this, there's constant obstacles.
Don't worry, everybody. It's just a purification of kinds of sorts. So we're going to use the camera to record his screen and show you that way. Old school. The last ditch effort is the internet strong enough that we can put him on Zoom and share a screen? No.
I'll show him next year.
Okay. What, could you just talk about just in general, what it does? Okay. Yeah, sorry, we're not going to be able to see. Maybe it's just not ready to be shown yet, Jamie. Karmically, but. Oh, now we see it. All right, cool.
Okay. So basically, we took every one of the videos that we have, so thousands of videos, and we've transcribed them all. So we've used, this is one of the places where we've used AI, Whisper model, to transcribe all of the lectures, all of the audio, all of the videos. And then the output for all of that is timed. So every second is time-stamped. So now in my source data, so I have an exact time that I can match to the video and the audio for everything. So then we've taken that source data and started to clean it up. So basically the result is you get a sophisticated search program where you can search for anything you want. And then it's going to bring you back results. And you can see here, this is an example of search preview. So I search for Lamrim. No, I search for this, and it pulls this up. And so then over to the right, so this is just a little part of the class that I'm getting here in the search results. But basically, then I can see over to the right the full summary of this entire class that this section belongs to. And then I can see currently which section of the class is here. So we have titles for all the section of the class here. And any of these things you can click
Could you put the
on.
microphone in my mouth? Yeah.
Any of these you can click on and hear exactly where Geshe Michael is talking about this. It's not playing for some reason now because it's not connected. But then you can.
But in theory, when you click on
When you click on any of this, it will play exactly where it is in the course.
Yeah. And it actually does work. It's because we plugged in all the different things in weird configurations that it's not connecting to his hard drive, but it does work.
So then you can look over to the right and you can see exactly a full overview of the class. Then you can expand this even further, and it's going to open up and it's going to take you to that section of the class in terms of a summary overview for each section. Each of these you can click and play exactly where it is. You can drop down one level lower and get the actual transcript. So every minute or something is in here. So I can hop up one more level and get the section. So then I can open up audio and video here, and it's exactly timed to where it is. If I want to see the source text, so the ALL source text, I can click that, and it's going to scroll exactly to the folio of this section. So everything is linked. Everything is linked. Then we have a Tibetan outline as well. So my partner, Bo, she's going through, listening to the entire Lam Rim, and she's marking each line where Geshe Michael reads that line in the original Tibetan and marking it for the time. So we have all of that for the entire Lam Rim. So for all of this as well, when it's connected properly, you can click on any of those lines and you'll hear that line being read. So you can see the scan of the original text as well in there.
We're working on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it went
Okay.
out. Yeah.
So anyway, you sort of get, like, everything is connected down to the exact second. It's all, each piece is connected with each
Everything
other.
is
So
down.
you can explore anywhere, link into all these different parts of the process.
Blue screen of death.
More, but yeah, there's a lot more. There's a whole other part of it which is similar to what Joel is doing, but the idea was to create all of these tools for students that want to go deeper, for teachers that want to start to use all this material to organize their own classes and their own courses. So all of these things that I was showing you before, as you're going through and you're searching for things, if you find something that's interesting to you that you want to save for later, you can bookmark it all. So as you're going through, you can just click Save to My Collection. Then you can go through after and view your collection, and everything is going to be saved there. You can export it to a CSV file or different ways. And then you can start to use that to create courses of your own and to do in-depth research. But basically, so the project is called the Knowledge Base, and I wanted to make it the ultimate knowledge base for students, for teachers, for translators. So I have a part of it as well that integrates with the ALL library. So you can go through and you can search the original source text as well. Can you see it up on the screen? Oh.
Another system of ours crashed too at the same time.
Oh.
That's not the problem now. No, there's a different problem.
Anyway, yeah. When it's live, I will show you everything.
When do you anticipate rolling out a first version of this publicly?
Probably in the next. I don't want to commit to anything.
Well, no, you don't. I mean, I know
in the
software.
next 3 to 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sometime in 2026,
Yeah.
this looks like we'll start being able to use
Yeah.
this and test it out.
Yeah. So, if you're interested and you want to see more, like you can grab me anytime you see me, and I'll show you on the computer. I'll show you everything, and I'm happy to do that. There's a lot more cool stuff.
Great.
So yeah. So we have a QR code as well. If you're interested in. Yeah. Oh, sorry. That doesn't work either. Yeah. Anyway, you can come to my computer and see the QR code. It just links to a sign-up form if you want to, if you want to receive information about when it's available, or if you want to offer your help in some way. Part of this as well is, part of what I showed you before was you can go through and you can search, and there's transcripts for everything, but those transcripts aren't perfect yet. So one thing, I want to have a group of sort of editors and power users that can go through, and each of those things you can click edit, and it pulls you into a separate screen where you can edit that part of the transcript. And you can listen to the video and the audio, all part of the transcript, and it'll loop, and then you can change it, make an edit, and submit to me for review, or an admin can then review it. And as you're using the tool, it's still usable. You can use it, you can search, you can do research, but you can also edit as well and start to improve the data. And then over time, it's going to get better and better and better. And then once it gets much better, then we can start using it for some AI applications as well.
Great. I'm sitting up here, I'm already planning how we're going to use this in the 5 houses. I'm just imagining the ways that we can use this to develop new coursework. Remember in October, we started using the knowledge base to pull out courses that could be transformed into Geshe Michael's previous courses and turned into new content, new courses for the 5 houses. And this looks like this is going to be an amazing tool for teachers to be able to search through, like if I have a particular concept, when did Geshe Michael talk about this one idea? And then you can go back through the last 25, 30 years and then cross-reference, well, he's talked about this concept 15 times over 25 years. And you can see how he talked about it, how it has evolved over time.
That was exactly my intention for building it as well. Yeah, to give teachers the tools to be able to do exactly that.
I didn't know he was doing this, so this is super exciting.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you want to see more, come grab me, and I can show you.
Cool. Well, thank you for taking the time. I apologize for the sometimes things work and sometimes, I don't know. Most of the time it works, but don't worry. Things break on purpose at the right time. So thank you again for your time. I appreciate it. Yeah. I need 2 more minutes. Thank you. Thank you. So there was one more thing that I wanted to do, and I'm going to do it briefly, and then you'll hear more about it very soon. Sorry, I broke the microphone stand as well. First of all, thank you, Joel, for joining us today. Thank you, Jamie, for both of you showing the great work that you're doing in the Worldview Network. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. So where we wanted to go, and we have only a few minutes and we're running slightly over, so I'm going to go very fast and then you'll hear more about it later, is that where we're going with this idea of leadership, and Geshe mentioned it the other night, is that we need to build leadership in each of the houses. We need to find the talent, create the talent of people who can lead that. And so we're calling it an advisory council of 10 people plus a few from the main office, including myself, to start leading that charge for each of the houses. So how are we going to find you? Some of you have expressed interest, some of you have been too shy to express interest. So we have an application form online. If you're interested in being part of that, there's an application form. You fill it out, answer some questions, upload your CV. Please upload your photo too so we know who you are. And then we'll go through an interview process. Now, this is an amazing opportunity to plant some amazing seeds and volunteer to start. And then eventually the work we will build it so that it will then start bringing in the funding to hopefully turn them into paid positions. But to start will be your blood, sweat, and tears.
That's how it always starts.
That's how it always starts. So if you're interested, and maybe you're interested in just learning more, or maybe you're like, I'm not sure if I want a position like that, but I want to be involved, fill out the application. So then we can start to get to know who really wants to be part of this. It's not limited to people who only live in the United States. Okay? So if you're interested, fill that out. And we will be starting application reviews in January 1. And hopefully start interviewing during January to see who wants to be part of that small group. Let's say we start with 10 people, and after a month you're like, yeah, this isn't my thing. Okay, that's why we need more applications. Then we'll go back and we'll start looking to fill those spots. I want to spend a little bit more time talking about it, but we are over time. So again, thank you, Joel, for sharing your vulnerable stories.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
And if you're ever having a problem in Zoom and you're uncomfortable in a meeting,
now you know what to do.
Start practicing in the mirror. What's the freeze frame that you want? And thank you very much. Thank you, Jamie, for joining us. And we have Ben and Kendra's class coming up right now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, team. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, Jamie. And so we had to delay like 5 minutes for the next class, so we can have 10 minutes to take a break. And before the break, the people who are interested to take your Bodhisattva Law card back, you might can find yours outside at the registration desk. Okay, teacher JB La, Connie La, and Hector, they give the card back there. You can find there. And Tim. And we're waiting for Venerable Gelsey's card. And also, you can maybe ask the teacher. Maybe they had your card in their hand. So try to find that outside. 第二个事情呢，就是关于我们的那个 Geshe Michael 001 that beautiful pen auction. Now we are getting to $5,500 US. So we still have time. We still have time to give your silence auction. So maybe some people, they are too shy to go there to say your auction bid, but you know you can have a paper and silently write your name down and write the number and give that to them. We will close the auction. 我们今天早上会关闭这个拍卖的机会，今天早上，所以现在以及下一节课之前还有机会。 好吗？所以请大家继续去把
will
你
close the
想要把
auction
这支笔带回家，把格西老师
this
的祝
morning,
福
so
带
we
回
still have a
家。
bit of
而且
time.
今天下午
So
还有
hope
机
that
会
everybody
站
can
在这个
bring
讲
the
台上，
teacher's
接受老师
blessing
亲自把这支笔
home, and you still have a chance
送
to
给
receive
你
the
啊。
blessing
所以
and
的
receive
话
the
呢，大
things
家
from the
抓紧
Geshe
时间
Michael.
去投
So
标。
please go and try to take this auction.
So the auction, I just repeat in English. So the auction will be closed this morning after this morning's class or before lunch. So if you still want to bid, by the way, this is a silent bid. So you don't have to yell out your bid. You just have to silently sneak a paper to Rosa, who's over there in a gray hat. She's there. So if you're interested, please reach out to her and talk to her. And the bidding starting price right now is 5,500 USD. And the highest bidder will have a chance to receive this package from Geshe Michael himself this afternoon on this stage. So, and all the profit from this will go to supporting the operations of the five houses and to keep the Dharma from flowing. And
好，快速的休息一下。
Okay, so we'll take a quick break. Make sure to check out all the stalls in the back, and we'll see you in 10 minutes.
Wow, thank you so much, Teacher Tim, Teacher Joe, and special guest, Teacher Jamie, for amazing guidance. I believe after this session, we are even appreciate more about the lifetime contribution, dedication of Geshe Michael Roach, and especially on the senior teacher lived in the worldview organization, and of course, its member of the organization. And if you like me, you think that, oh, we not really have the good contribution for the organization, just remember Teacher Tim saying that somehow the best people will be the most criticized. So just encourage others to become the best of themselves. Yeah, we have just under 10 minutes for the press, and let's come back for the debate training very soon. Start very soon. Yeah, see you. Bye bye.